Alright, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy PXG Cash Howard. As you can clearly see in the title, it's time for Season 3. And no, it is not Season 3 of the league. We actually have a name. Which I learned very late last. We are the Worldwide Champions League. This is my third time joining in. You know, these guys are really close friends of mine. I couldn't do the two leagues again like I did before. It was too much, and now with like my time being more not wasted, but my time being more stricter because work has changed. You know, I'm now a full-time employee at work. Makes it kind of hard to do everything I used to do without cutting some corners, but we ain't talking about none of that. Now, let's do some backtracking. Season 1, which I have like almost zero evidence of. I came in to substitute someone. They already had a bad record. I didn't help the case when I took the record either. I think overall we ended up getting one victory, and yeah, that wasn't much. Going into Season 2, as I was, I believe, the worst player who was there then. I drafted first. You know, we got what I thought was a decent team. You know, I barely got. I don't even think I got sniped. I actually think I had enough pokes. There were glaring flaws with my initial draft. For those who probably don't remember, here it is. I have a big weakness to ice. So as I said, how we're slowly getting better. I didn't notice that then because I just saw like, oh, I have this, I have this, I have that. From the draft to the end, I did end up dropping Articuno, Braviary, and Electros for Mr. Mime, Noivern, and Cofagrigus. We did come in 8th place in the season with a record of 8-7, giving us enough to get into the playoffs. But ultimately, we still lost in the quarterfinals to Lindo, who we were close to beating during the actual season. So I guess you could call it being haunted by your loss and trying to reclaim it. But I did horribly during that battle, barely managing to get a 3-0 loss from Lindo. But we're now focusing straight on Season 3. We're following the same format as we did in Season 2 with the GBA style draft for the league. So for those that don't know, here it is. The only change that we do compared to GBA is that we actually have 2 tier 3s. So overall, when you're drafting, you have to have 11 pokes. You cannot have anything less than 11. You have to have 11, so this is where the strategy plays in, because you get automatically 7 free pokes based on their specific tiers that that fit in those squares you see there. So you get a free tier 1, a free tier 2, in our case 2 tier 3s, a tier 4, a tier 5, and a mega. You have to fill in those remaining 4 slots with using the point system that you see there. 400 points. So you can't obviously take 4 tier 1s. That's not going to be 400 points. You could do tier 2, tier 5s if that's your flavor. You could do 4 tier 3s, I mean. But any kind of combination you want, it just has to equal 400. Now, since we're using this format, and then we use it in Season 2, we're using Season 3, we had an option of franchising a Pokemon. The drawback of franchising is that we wouldn't be starting with 400 points, we'd be starting with 360. You wasting 40 points to secure the franchise. We actually decided to do that. Now mind you, like I said, going back to the team, there are some gems here. Some of these pokes actually, came in pretty clutch. A lot of these pokes I wasn't expecting to be how can I put it into words? A lot of these pokes, most of the time when I draft pokes, I usually draft them based on trying them once or knowing enough about them. From these pokes that you see here, I pretty much narrowed it down to 3 who would have actually been pretty good for me to bring back along. Ultimately, ironically, 2 of these pokes actually made it back to our squad. One due to franchise, one because of actual picking. So, without further ado, let's show you guys the team. You guys ready for it? Yeah. Oh, by the way, we actually have team names this time around. So, I, your boy PXG Cash Howard, am the coach of the New York Nidokings. And who are the New York Nidokings, you ask? It would be these people. So, as you can clearly see right there, securing spot number 1, our franchise pick was Victini, the Fire Psychic Pokemon. I pretty much franchised it. I do like Victini. If you guys seen all my season 2 videos, I don't think I've ever ran Victini the same way more than once. I played around physical, special, mix, defend, whatever you want to call it. Victini did it. My main reason for drafting Victini and franchising it is to not let anyone else have Victini. I don't want to fight this thing. I'd rather have it on my side. So I figured, you know what? Let us draft it. It gives us a nice wall breaker. It has decent stats with 100 all around. And like I said, I don't want anyone to have this because I don't want to plan to fight this. So now, Victini being a tier 1 Pokemon and our franchise pick automatically locks in our tier 1 pick. So, already off the bat, my actual first real pick was Tornadus Therian, using 180 points to draft it. Tornadus Therian being a flying type, I believe the only pure flying type in the Pokemon game. And all these Pokemon are actually listed in the order that I actually drafted, so you guys can actually get an idea of what happened. Mind you, I was in 8th place, so I was stuck in the middle. So I did get some really good pokes this time around. My second pick was a tier 2 poke in Ferrothorn, the Grass Steel. My Mega, as you guys can see there, Mega Diancie. As much as I actually liked Altaria, it didn't do much for me because RNG prevented me from actually ever doing anything. But to the joy of my friend, at least he doesn't have to see it, because my friend actually despised seeing that in every battle not doing anything. So, and I know you're probably watching this video, so are you happy it's not here? Now, my 4th pick, the fighting type Hitmontop. Around this time of the draft, everyone was actually going for a Pokemon that can actually remove hazards from the field. As you guys know in the game, you have 2 moves that can actually do that, Rapid Spin or Defog. Last season, we had Zapdos doing that with Defog, which was helpful, because I did have back then a lot of Pokemon that were weak to it. But I didn't really enjoy using Defog as much because I did not want to remove any hazards I actually set up on the opponent's side. I actually wanted a Rapid Spinner, but there weren't any good ones left, so I didn't even bother. This time around, we were actually able to nab a good one in Hitmontop. Very defensive. Moving along. We grabbed... Oh yeah, Hitmontop was a tier 4. Tier 3, we got Kyurem in his base form. The Dragon Ice type. Now, the next poke was also tier 4 Spiritomb, so we had to use 60 points to draft it. The little bound spirits that have its uses. That's why it's smiling so sinisterly. Yeah, better get ready for me, boys. Next, coming back from Season 2 on our team is Suicune, who's a tier 2, just like Ferrothorn, pure water. But as you see, Ferrothorn already took the tier 2 slot, so I had to waste 160 to draft Suicune, which is not 160. I'm sorry, 120, which is a good 120 spent, if I do say so. Now, ironically, Quagsire, the Water Ground, was not originally something I wanted to draft. But once my actual pick was taken, it was something that I actually needed, and it was actually a very cheap alternative based compared to the one that I originally did want. Quagsire being a tier 5 pick. Weezing, shout out to Team Rocket, also a tier 5, being a poison type. I had to use 40 points to draft it, which is quite alright. And then my last pick was a tier 3, which I didn't fill in my 2, so we got Heracross for free. As since Hitmontop is probably going to be my more defensive fighting type, you best believe Heracross didn't go in. So now, these pokes right here are your New York Nidokings. We're going to actually do our best and do better than we did last season. Hopefully, maybe we can get we can do better than quarterfinals, but quarterfinals is still pretty good. The league this time around is gonna be all of the videos are gonna be on YouTube. I'm still gonna be doing my thing, commentating on my own actual battles, reflecting on things that I've been doing. I am gonna post the link for the actual league's YouTube channel below, so if you guys want to watch all the battles, because I'm only gonna be focusing on me, But if you want to see what everyone else is doing in the league, you want to keep track, stuff like that, you can go ahead and do so. Follow the channel. Our boy Volt's going to be doing most of that work solo, so you gotta give the man some love. But yeah, we're going to try our best. That's all we can really ask for. So I hope you guys root for us. You guys actually kind of see some more growth in me. But yeah, that's all there is to it for this. Stay tuned for that first week battle going up soon. As you know, this is your boy, PXG Cash Hour, coach of the New York Nidokings, signing off. Laters.